All right, welcome, Youngzers. We're officially in season 2, episode 1. So we're re-rolling the numbers. We're gonna stop every year, or every season's gonna be 52 episodes. So we're back. We're to season 2 now. So anything you heard before this, just erase from your mind. This is a new season. We got a new storyline ready for you. So we'll kind of go every season as Steelers season, finishing up to the next one, if that makes sense, because that's kind of where we started. So this is officially the last Sunday of this year without Steeler football, technically. Um, Unless you're one of those people that doesn't count like training camp or anything like that, then whatever. This comment might not be for you, so whatever. This is season 2, episode 1. Um, we got a little bit of growth from the beginning. We've grown. We've shown improvements. So round of applause to everybody. We've come a long way. We're short on our goal. We said 500 subs. We got 472 or 372?
372.
372. But that's why you set goals. You shoot for the moon, but if you miss, you're gonna end up among the stars. So that's where we're at, I guess. How you guys doing? Dan's already shaking his head for whatever reason. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
You never will. I'm doing
sometimes
all right.
Not pleasing anybody,
Yeah, you're just off the wall with your one-liners. Just like in the group chat, they said 2 o'clock works for me, and you asked AM or PM. Come on now. You're already asleep, tucked in, had your warm milk at 9 o'clock. You're already asleep. You're not up past midnight.
I don't do the warm milk. I do
not up past midnight.
Honey, because apparently you sleep better.
So then if you shoot for the moon, you land amongst the stars. Come on now. We're better than that.
I know you're a night owl, so I said AM or PM.
You're going to stay up till 2 in the morning to record a podcast.
If you want me to, I'd consider it.
No, you wouldn't. Right, you got to go to work tomorrow. What time you got to wake up?
Like 7.
Yeah, see? Get your 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I could do it.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, you would. Let's be honest, you would.
You talking?
I'd like to say, start of season 2, the mustache is coming in great for you.
Yeah, she's pretty long there. Pretty thick, that's about all I can grow. I got a little bit of something down here, but don't look at that. But here,
the stash is the main attraction.
That's the money maker. I was actually, last time I shaved it, I got some hate. I got some guff for it. They told me never shave it again. Jordan Schreckengosh, he texted me. He was like, if you ever shave your mustache again, I'll stop talking to you. I'll stop watching, stop supporting you. So, we can't lose any support, that we already have. So I got to keep growing this thing out, and I got to get some new wax to wax it up. Mine expired. So
I just think it's once you have one, you can't go back.
Yeah, they say there's
if you have like a little bit of stubble, I guess. Anytime I get rid of it all, I rarely do that, but I just feel like I look like a clown, so I just don't do it.
Yeah, they say there's a 5-minute period. If you have a significant other and you end up shaving a mustache, and that's all you have, there's a 5-minute period there where they're like, who is this person? And then it starts growing on them like it grows on me, So it's something that I look, how do you say, like a baby when I shave everything, and it's not a good look. I'm 30 years old. I got to look at least half decent, I guess. Look half my age, I guess. I look like a 15-year-old now with a mustache. So there's some other things that I say, but I won't say that on the pod. So I'll say it off pod. I'll let you guys know.
All right. Fair enough.
I always say that, forget it. I'll say it. I always say that I look like I shouldn't be within 500 feet of a playground or an elementary school with this mustache. So I bust my own balls. Don't bust mine. So, but
what about you, Andrew? What's new? We heard Dan and his facial hair woes. What about you?
Torn wedding venues, knocked 2 of the 4 out. So got a couple the next few days, but I think we found the place we're going to go with. So that takes a lot of stress out, and, little Youngzers wedding. So, that's what I'm not going to tell Nicole, but that's what I'm going to call it. No, I mean, real good price. They take care of all the decorations. Everything's included with it. So it takes a lot of worry off us, but I think Ryan's going to get a kick out of the address. So It's actually on Dick Road, which is number one. So I figured once you caught like a whiff of that, the jokes wouldn't stop from there. So partly, it's convenient. The second part of why we chose it is Ryan would probably find the address hilarious. So yeah.
I forget what road I thought was funny. It's like Moron Road or something road. It's like in New York. I saw it. It's like Moron or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, roads like that are funny to me.
Yeah. So it's a good icebreaker. It's a good icebreaker for the wedding. It's not going to be some like stuffy uppity affair. Like I'm out to Dick Road. Make a right and you're there. That's all you got to know.
Yeah. I have been married. It'll be 5 years this year in September. So I will tell you from experience, wedding venue and food are like the biggest like stresses about getting married. Everything else just kind of falls into place. So don't stress too much over it. Enjoy the process leading up to it, because when you ultimately end up getting married and you have your day, everyone's there for the ceremony and that's all about you. But then everything after, you realize when you're in the moment and it's yours, that it's a party for everybody else. You got a bunch of other stuff you're dealing with and stuff. So what I was told was enjoy the process and everything leading up to it, and picking venues and the food and the cake and all that other stuff, your DJ, get your set song list and all that. So just enjoy that.
Well, the nice thing about the venue too is this is like an adult episode. I feel like this isn't the normal content, but they have like one caterer they work with that Nicole's best friends worked with. So that's we already know who the caterer is going to be, and we don't have to worry about a cake. We're actually doing like a tier of donuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going with the cake. Yeah. We're keeping cash.
We did cake just for Amanda and I, and then just so like we could cut it together, But then everything, it was just the Pittsburgh cookie table. It was huge. My mother and my godmother, my mother's cousin, a couple of her cousins, just cookies out the wazoo, man. I had cookies forever. And then my buddy Bruno's mom made me baklava, like a whole big ass tray of baklava. I mean, just I had too many cookies. I was eating them for like the next 6 months. I took them home, froze them and stuff. Oh yeah, I took a bunch into work. I had a lot of cookies, and I think that's one of the best things about like Pittsburgh weddings is just the cookie table.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got like the short end of the stick the one time. I think I drove Andrew and his buddies home from a wedding.
From DJs.
And I suggested like, yeah, get me like a box of cookies. That'll be like, the collateral. I said no fruit ones. And I opened the box. It's all fruit. Worst ones. I was so angry. They weren't even good fruit ones. They were the horrible fruit.
In my defense, I did not put that box of cookies together. That was Will Salem. So
it was deliberate then.
Yeah.
It was deliberate. Speak about Big Will, excited to see him this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Big weekend.
Oh, I haven't seen him since DJ's bachelor party, I think.
Really?
Yeah, we'll text each other every now and again just to catch up and stuff. But if you ever text Will, and if anybody out there has a friend like this, it kind of annoys me. He'll have a conversation for 3 texts, like boom, 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 and then won't text you back for like 8 hours. And I'm like, what were we talking about? So I got to go reread what we were talking about, because he'll send paragraphs, So one pet peeve with Will is just he's not punctual when texting back and forth just to try to catch up and stuff.
The one day we were having a conversation, 8 days later I get a response. He's like, sorry, I was in Japan. Like, you don't know what he's doing. He was over there for work. And I'm like, all right.
Like, I texted him back the one time, and I sleep during the day, so he texted me that night or something like that. So I texted him back, and I was like, he's probably sleeping. He got back to me at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was still doing some stuff, so I texted him back. Didn't get a response till the next day. I was like, you spent a whole day, like, this conversation is getting drug out. It's like a run-on sentence almost.
Yeah.
With the way that you don't respond, Will. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
He's good to jag around with, especially like when there's alcohol involved. I remember for DJ's bachelor party that he showed up late down to Luke's when he was renting down there in Leechburg, and I iced him right on Market Street. I was like, "Yep, drink it. You're late." So I'm sure there's going to be some icing involved and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive he will never watch this episode. He probably never has watched one, so
That's fine.
I'm gonna hit him with an exploding golf ball next Saturday, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Okay.
I still got some in the bag. I'm
Yeah.
ready to roll with them. Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun day.
Yeah. So, what do you guys want to get into first? I know that's a little bit of an intro, talking shop. You can go Buccos first, since that's what's in season. We'll talk.
There's nothing else. Nothing on the Penguins. They haven't traded for Eric Carlson.
That's the only thing.
We can knock that off real quick if you want.
Yeah, but just Ron, take it over with the Pirates. You got the gear on. You're ready to roll.
No, I just like that. This hat's like really comfortable. It's a lightweight. It bends easy to your head. It's like a cloud on your head. I don't know. That's why I wear it. But Pirates.
Before we get into the Pirates talk, after we don't have much on sports. Nicole's best friend Kayla's here. She wants to come up and talk conspiracy theories with you, Dan.
Oh, absolutely. I'm all in. I'm all in.
So, Pirates, kind of a bad week. If we're counting Sunday, they lost Sunday to the Giants, finale of that series. Dropped 2 out of 3 at home to the Guardians. The most important thing there was, I think that was Quinn Priester's debut was against the Guardians.
Yes.
Yeah.
7 earned runs. First 3 innings, he looked good. He got like 9 straight outs off ground balls. I don't know, Andrew, you might be able to speak on this if he's a ground ball pitcher, maybe.
He is.
But there's a lot of contact, it looked like, but it wasn't hard contact per se. But they were getting the outs. The defense was making the plays right, and then it just the one blow up inning from him kind of,
Well, the first time through the order, he was mixing his pitches very well. He was getting those ground balls, and then he started relying too much on his breaking ball, and that's when they started tattooing him. He was giving up home runs, and I'm putting 50-50 blame there. Priester looked good for the first 3 innings, obviously. Started getting hit around.
Had a shaky one. Yeah.
Had a shaky one. Okay, it's a rookie. And then my main gripe is, okay, he's a rookie. He didn't mix his pitches well. He understands that. He knows, it's a learning thing for him. But for the manager, for Shelton to leave him in there and leave him out to dry, that was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, and that's what pissed me off, because he comes out 5, I would say, strong innings. The first 3, what was it? 9 consecutive outs, 8 of them were on the ground. Even that line drive was a soft hit line drive. It wasn't like a rope or anything. Goes out there into the 4th inning, I believe, and gives up 3 runs. Comes out in the 5th and doesn't give up any runs. I think right there, Shelton sees in the 4th inning he's getting tattooed. You got to set him down. Keep his confidence high. He only gives up 3 runs at that point. Don't let him come out for the 6th inning at all, because he's young, first time up here. He had the confidence because he went the first time through the order, was setting guys down. Nobody reached base. I mean, you had 3 perfect innings. And then it was low pitch count. I understand that, but he was on 1 day or 2 days rest because he pitched 1 inning in AAA, but was hit with a comebacker in the calf. So they sat him down and then ended up telling him he's coming up. I think it's on Derek Shelton. Just like I'm just gonna jump yesterday when was it yesterday or the day before when it was the day before the first game against the Angels. Oviedo really didn't have it there in was that the 5th inning? Fifth or 6th inning?
Yeah.
You got to sit him down. I don't care. You got to be unconventional. I've even said it. I think it's on Derek Shelton. Doesn't know how to manage this team. He doesn't know when to bring guys in, when to shut guys down. Who to bring in. It's tough because I'm just going to say this. When you hit 4 home runs off of Shohei Ohtani and you still lose that game, there's something wrong. And the thing that was wrong was Derek Shelton mismanaged that game.
Yeah, and look what he did yesterday. He used an opener, and it worked perfectly.
That was a bullpen game, but I'll move on. I still want to touch on the Priester start and all that. Do you guys think that I agree Priester should have been out, rookie guy. Just get your feet wet, and before things like all hell breaks loose. Hey, if he even went 4 innings, I'd have been like, okay, like he got his feet wet. 3 of those innings were solid. You had a 4-3, maybe got knocked around for 4 runs a little bit, but that's why we have a couple of those bullpen guys in there to help you out. If you're a manager, you need to be more prepared for that, especially if it's a debut with a rookie pitcher like that. However, do you guys think that Shelton is that ignorant, or is this a way of like getting back at the fans and putting us in our place and saying, "Hey, this is what you guys wanted, but like you got to watch this now. We're gonna have you get 11 runs hung on you by the Guardians." Do you think that was kind of, "Hey, I'm gonna slap you guys in the face. I'm the manager. This is what you want here. You're gonna have it."
I would say no. It's not, I think he's just that ignorant because at the end of the day, you're still trying to manage this team and keep your job. And that's the most important thing. And if he is so blind to the noise or deaf to the noise already about the whole Hedges thing, you know, oh, I don't know why they're booing him, blah blah blah. Then he's deaf to the noise of, oh, we want Quinn Priester. It's not his decision to get him called up anyway. So I wouldn't. I just think that he is so out of touch on how to win games conventionally or unconventionally. It doesn't matter. I just think that he's so out of touch with it and can't manage this team.
Yeah, I think that extension might have been like a jump of the gun, you know, especially for a franchise like the Pirates. We've seen it before. You know, a hot start doesn't mean anything until you finish the season. I think they should have given it at least past the All-Star break before they made that decision. I still think that the future for the Pirates is bright. I really wish they would be in a better spot right now, even record-wise. It's kind of a shame, honestly. I wouldn't care if they're 5th in the division. I just want to see progress from year to year. And I think right now they're only 2 games better than they were last year. So that's kind of, you know, a big, I'd say, step back. But you got to think Cruz is missing, but how many games would he honestly, you know, improve the team by winning? You know, I'd say at most 5 or 6.
What's his war? Is it war?
Wins above your replacement.
Yeah.
I know, like, that all shuffled. You know, players have been all shuffled around. The middle infield's been horrible all year. The only thing you really would have to worry about right now is second base if Cruz was still there. But, you know, they'd still have the growing pains out in the outfield. You see Henry Davis misplaying balls. I was listening to the radio on the way home from I don't know where, and it was just the most insane sequence of events. It was like ball over Henry Davis's head. Oh, it bounced over his glove. And then 2 seconds later, it's like, oh, he threw it about 30 yards past the second baseman. You know, that's going to come with it.
But it's not just Cruz's injury. So, like, that's obviously the biggest one. Brian Reynolds is clearly not healthy. He has that back, you know, some sort of upper body injury that's affecting his swing. Brian Hayes has not been healthy. And then you look at the pitching rotation. Like, I was not high on Vince Velasquez, but he had some good starts. He gets hurt. Yarlene Garcia, who's supposed to be the 5 starter, gets hurt. I don't know if he's ever even pitched for them this year. He's still been on the injured list.
No.
You know, you had relievers going in and out. So,
and that
that all piled on.
That goes back to this just blows my mind of how the Pirates always seem to have players that are hurt or that continuously get on the IL or, you know, the 10-day whatever list. How's your training staff that bad? And, you know, like, you got to put on the training staff. I know I've said this last year too, how often like our star players are hurt. And I think even G-Man Choi being out, half the season probably, that puts a lot of weight on Santana. He's like, Santana has to be an everyday player. He probably thought, hey, I'm going to play half the year, relax, you know, just get to bat here and there, play first base. And he's been, I think, fantastic for the most part recently. He's, But, you know, if you saw G-Man Choi this last week, I know he's batting like probably 170, but he's had some big spots. I think that last game against the Guardians, he had like that clutch, like 2 RBI, tie the game, and then Triolo came in. I think he knocked in a couple runs. But just having experience like that and leadership, I guess you could say too, because I think that's why G1 Bay really took a step back. Because I thought, in my opinion, that's why Choi was here to kind of be a mentor to him even, and, you know, bring him up. And I haven't seen G1 Bay play in probably 2-3 weeks. Like, he hasn't even been in the conversation ever since
He's been hurt
when Gonzalez came up.
He's been hurt. Yeah, he's been. Yeah, he sprained his ankle.
Yeah, but still, he hasn't. Before that, he wasn't. He
was scuffling
that back air too.
They had that 2-week stretch with those younger guys where it's flash in the pan. G1 Cal Mitchell maybe had a couple RBI. But that's why it's called a flash in the pan.
Mm-hmm.
There for a second, it's gone, and that's what happens whenever you have to bring up these young guys that really aren't your top prospects, and they're probably quad A players. And you have the injuries and it all piles on at once. You can catch that momentum for a couple of weeks. And then when you come back down to earth, you come back down to earth. And when you're not calling up Henry Davis, Jared Triolo, Nick Gonzalez, who've been pretty solid, all of them, since they came up, Triolo's batting defense especially have been pretty good. That's what's going to happen. This is the end result of that.
So let's forget about those. I'm trying to just move through the week here. Let's forget about those two first game of the series against the Guardians where they were outscored. I think it was like 21-1, and then they ended up picking up that win. I think they're down by 4. It was like 5-1. I don't know. No, it was 4-0 maybe, because Josh Bell hit that home run in the 8th to make it 7-5. Yes. So Josh Bell, I think that was just like a vengeance series for him. It seemed like he has like 2 home runs against us. Josh Naylor also just had a fantastic series against the Pirates.
Yeah, but you're playing.
That trade looks horrid too. Even that was just one of that's probably right behind the Archer trade. You look back at that.
Yeah,
Will and Eddie Yean. Eddie Yean, I think, still in Greensboro. He's a grasshopper. He'll never play in the majors.
Will Crow just got DFA'd. Yeah. So, and the thing that gets me about that series is you're playing a team that can't score runs like yourself. It doesn't hit home runs. They have they're like last in home runs, like by significant margin. And that's how they beat you, is with the long ball. I think every game they had at least 2. I know Naylor had 2 in the one game, and Bell might have had 1 in that game as well. So they just crushed you. Here's my thing. Their Vegas over under was 67 wins. Right now, they're sitting at 43-55. If they go 25-45, they'll have another 100 loss season. Do you see them winning more than 25 games in this last half? Okay.
How many games are left?
70 games. 70 games.
So they have to go 33, like 3-3-3 out.
They'll have to They'll have to win 26 games and lose 54 or 44. To not lose 100 games, they'll lose 99 games. Here's the thing. They lost, 100 or 101 last year. They're on pace to lose that again. They're not going to get their over total from Vegas, which was it 67.5?
Yeah, and I bet on that.
That's out of reach.
Remember when I said like 80 or 90?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You want to see progress and you want to see them take steps forward. They're not. If anything, I think they've regressed. You can't say that they've stayed the same if they lose on another 100 games, because you have different prospects up here now. You have guys that you want to see in the future. I understand it's a year without O'Neal Cruz again, but like we discussed, is he gonna win you 30 games? I don't believe so. He might be the change in 20 games maybe, but that's a stretch.
Here's what I would say. The only progress they've made is purely roster wise. Not even looking at the numbers, not even looking at the record. Just like roster wise. Last year, the absolute scrap they threw out there and lost 100 games. I'd rather have those players that are here this year playing last year and losing 120 or, like 125, because at least you're getting those young guys experience. I know they might not be ready yet. That's probably a dumb idea, but you could say they make progress in actually bringing those guys up and, trying to play for the future a little bit. So that's all I got. Cause you got guys like Ben Gamble, Josh Van Meter, and what's his name? Jake Marcinek out there, or whatever his name is.
Like I get it, but then look at the rotation we could possibly have next year.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch Keller, Skeens, Johan, and what would you say? Would you say Priester? Because you can't say
Connie whenever Pirates sign him.
You can't say Contreras because he's a head case right now. But what's going on? Contreras Luis Ortiz and Quinn Priester's velocity is all down from last year. Those three guys, all three of those guys, their velocity is down from last year. What is going on with, is the pitching coach, is that still Cora?
Are they focusing more on control than?
See, that was the thing when Garrett Cole was up here and was our horse. He even said that they wanted him to pitch to contact, and that's not his strength. No. If you're telling these guys that are able to mow guys down or get swings and misses to pitch to contact, they're not going to blossom. They're not going to flourish up here in the big leagues just because that's the process you want them to go by. Like you can't do that. You can't pound a square peg into a round hole.
No. Hitting's been the real issue, I think, lately. Whoever the hitting coach is, just get rid of him. Honestly, there's got to be something better out there. When your stars are not hitting, I know Andrew's saying like Reynolds and all them are hurt. Maybe give him a pass there, but it's got to be better. It's okay if one guy in your lineup's in a slump, but like when all 9 guys up and down are just horrible, like something's got to give. Make a move, something like that. Like do something about it. I'm sorry, but you just want to move into the Angels series at this point.
One sec. Just want to touch on, you said the hitting coach. Derek Shelton used to be a hitting coach. You would think that he would be able to, see things as your manager, maybe step on some toes of who's it, Andy Haynes or something like that is our hitting coach. Mm-hmm. So like step on some toes, maybe get your nose in there, not just be the manager, but was he that good of a hitting coach? I don't know.
Andy Haynes was in Milwaukee and he ruined Christian Yelich.
Yeah.
And now he's gone and Yelich is doing better. So, I mean, it's been no surprise. Andy Haynes just is not a good professional coach. He can't have the team bunting right, which is, I guess, what he's working on with them from what I've seen. That's, whatever. I'm over Andy Haynes and Austin Hedges. Get them both out of here.
Eric Shelton, too.
Speaking of hitting, let's just move into, like I said, I'm moving through the week. Let's get game 1 against the Angels on Friday night, right? Friday night.
Yep.
So they faced what most people say the best player in the history of baseball. Shohei Ohtani was on the mound. I thought the game was going to go one of two ways. The Pirates usually pull something out of their behind whenever a pitcher like that comes up. So they're either going to shell them or just get like no hit. So luckily they hit well against them. I'll say that. I'd say the best hitter right now on the Pirates is no doubt Henry Davis. Can we all agree on that?
Him or Triolo.
Yeah.
Triolo, okay. Yeah. He's on he was on like a 19 or 13 game hit streak, one of the two. Probably 13. 13. Because it ended yesterday.
Well, I know it was 11 in the second game of the Guardians series, so 11, 12, 13. Though. Yeah, it'd have been 13. Because it ended
yesterday. That would have been 13 game.
So,
but yeah, go ahead.
He's hitting like 380 as well. So I know it's a small sample size, but you can't take that guy out of your lineup. That's for sure. He's your most.
What do you do when Hayes comes back? Utility player, work him in at second.
Yeah, you kind of, if he can, or put him out in right field, put Davis behind the plate, and put Andy Rodriguez out there at first. But they'll never do that because that makes too much logical sense. Derek Shelton.
I mean, do you DH him maybe and mix out? I don't know who's the odd man out at that point. The outfield's kind of set. You got Sawinski, Reynolds, unless you want to give Reynolds an off day. He's hurting. Give him an off day. Put Triolo out there somewhere. I don't know. Has Triolo ever played outfield?
See, I know he's. You start running into not his natural position, maybe committing some errors. It's tough. It is. And back to your point about the Shohei Ohtani game, I understand. They get out there against them big horses and they normally fold. It was good to see them tack on some runs, but it was mismanaged by Derek Shelton again.
And also, the only note I have on this game, if there is a case for selected games having juiced baseballs, this has to be one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how many home runs were in this game. Not just the Pirates, but Mike Moustakas just knocking them home. There's multiple home runs. Everything was a loud baseball. I don't know, but if there's a case for juice baseballs, if you caught a home run on Friday night in Angel Stadium, get that ball tested, cut it open, analyze it somewhere, because it's most likely juiced. I don't know how they do it, but that's all I got on that.
Sammy Sosa's having them name flashbacks right now. Don't look at my bat. Don't look at my bat.
So, but the biggest note is the Pirates breaking Shohei Ohtani, I guess. Specifically Henry Davis, I guess. 2 home runs against Shohei Ohtani. Never been done before, I don't think, in one game. Dan's probably saying whoop-de-doo. Who cares?
Yeah. Wait, Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani, down game. Davis, it's 2 home runs. That's being looked at.
Last night he struck out. He was like 0-for-4.
I get that. But, I get that. He's got a lot going on right now with the rumors of him being traded and this and that. So it could be in his head, but you got to understand he's going to have bad games too. Just because we haven't seen it all, nobody's ever done it. That's not a big feat to me, because at the end of the day, you still lost 8-5.
I gotta give Ryan one of these.
You still lost 8-5.
I didn't say I said that's what people are saying.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand.
That wasn't my direct quote.
I'm giving them that. I'll give them the
only direct quote I have is if Ellie De La Cruz hits 2 home runs off Shohei Ohtani, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's all over Twitter. It's all over ESPN, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Henry Davis does it. What do you hear? Nothing.
Yeah, well, because look at the markets. You get what you bigger than the Buccos. Bigger than the Buccos.
Not bigger.
They have a lot of good young talent. They're marketable for the MLB right now. That's why. And
I understand they hit 4 off of Shohei, but you still lost.
Yeah.
The thing that hurts is they were solo shots. Except Sawinski, he had a 2-run shot.
Mm-hmm.
You hit solo shots. That you're not putting up crooked numbers. You're putting up ones.
Because the thing is, they don't get ducks on the pond.
No. Yeah.
There's no runners on base for them to hit more than a solo shot. That's the problem. So, guys that were on base in the beginning of the year, it was usually Kutch and G1 Bay a lot, because G1 Bay, that was before they figured out he was just going to bunt every time and just get to base, because he's literally a human cheetah. And Kutch was getting on because he was hitting pretty well, but he also had that veteran eye where he was walking pretty often. Santana was very consistent too for the same reason, veteran eye. He was getting on base a lot, but now who do you rarely see getting knocked in is Henry Davis. He's the only guy that gets on base consistently, and off chance that Santana hits him in, because no one else is really hitting that well. Triolo might have hit him in. But that's my notes on that first game. So that's it. Mental notes. I don't write things down. But yeah, bad loss. If you score 5 runs, you should be able to win a game. 4 is like the magic number, I think, in the MLB, right?
Yeah.
You score 4 runs, you should be able to, get the win.
Yeah, but you got to look at what Los Angeles did in the 4th inning. They put up 5 runs. That's a crooked number.
It's always the blow-up inning for the Pirates.
And it always,
Oviedo specifically.
It always starts with a walk or two. As soon as you see him lose command, I don't care if it's in the 4th inning. You got to get somebody up. You got to go out there and you got to talk to him. And it starts with a walk.
He's still living in May. He's still living in May, where we got those 17 quality starts. And he's saying, oh, here comes that 7-inning quality start. We probably haven't gotten one since, I don't know, Luis Ortiz went like 8 innings maybe last month. That might have been the last quality start they had.
And that's the problem. Look, I'm just going through looking at Oviedo, 3-11 on the year, which he's like your number 2 guy behind Keller right now.
I think those are a little, he's
3-11 with a 4.77 ERA. There's nothing skewed about that. Like a 4.77 ERA. And then you look at how many walks you think he's had this year.
Probably like 30.
116 walks.
116?
116?
Right.
He's only pitched in 111 innings.
No, that can't be right. That's his MLB career. He already has 46 walks this year.
16 off. I was going to say 100. Has he pitched 100 innings? That's almost 2 walks an inning, probably.
You look at him, he has 46 walks. Luis Ortiz, who was up there, he's up here, 2 and 3, 4.86 ERA. How many walks you think he has this year? Because those young guys, they're walking quite a bit. 26 walks for Ortiz.
How many innings pitched?
How many innings pitched?
Yeah.
Less than Oviedo, I bet.
Yeah.
53 innings.
And 26 walks? Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
That's what I mean. And I'm trying to think, who else would we want to even look at that's a starting pitcher? I mean, Ronesy. I'm going to see Ronesy here real quick. I'm just going to go through some.
That's just a mess. Don't even look at that.
Yeah, I want to see this. Is he on the
Grasshoppers right now, or is he at?
6.59 ERA, 68 innings, 32 walks.
They sent him to Florida.
Yeah, they sent him to the complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that just like protocol though, kind of at the same time?
No. So normally, whenever you send someone down, they're going from the majors to AAA.
The Indy, right?
Like they sent Ronesy down there just like the Blue Jays did with Alek Manoah, because that's where you look at the delivery, you break down everything. They have everything there. And it's something with his delivery because he's healthy, but his velocity is down 4 or 5 miles an hour on his fastball. So something's wrong with his mechanics, and that's when you send them down to the Florida Complex League, FCL, Florida Coast, whatever. They work on your mechanics there because whenever the players are coming into the system, they go there first to work on the mechanics before they go to single, double, before they move up the ranks. So they'll send them down there if something's really wrong with your mechanics and they're trying to fix it.
Yeah, so his arm slot's not in the right spot, or he's coming open too soon. They'll break it all down for him. But is it too late for a guy like that?
I wouldn't I'd say they're probably calling this season a wash and just, getting them ready for next year, spring training. They're going to work with them up until spring training or when pitchers and catchers report. And they're going to say, hopefully we get his confidence back. Hopefully we get him, ready to go, looking good. I think it's more, at this point for him, it's a mental block. Because last time I saw him in a Pirates uniform, he was crying on the bench. So, a grown man in a child's game crying, that's a tough scene. That's that's a big mental block he's got to get over now.
Well, you go from being probably the number 2 guy behind Mitch Keller to getting shelled, to getting put in the bullpen, to getting shelled, to not even going to AAA. Just getting, they were going to send him down, but they were trying to give him innings up here, but then to now you're not even in the league right now, basically, is the way to look at it. You went from the number 2 starter for the Pittsburgh Pirates to not even in the league right now. I think his confidence is shot. I don't know if you can resurrect that at all.
It depends who he is. I don't know much about him. That's a very personal, kind of thing to talk about. I don't know him. I don't know his situation, or how he's reacted to things like this before. So
has he ever faced adversity like this before?
Honestly, I don't know. That's what happens if you're a stud guy wherever he's from. I don't know. Where's he from, Andrew? Do you know? Maybe like Dominican Republic or Cuba or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you're coming out of a place like that, and you're in a program that they bring you up through to the MLB, and you're just that stud guy like all these years, and you don't ever face any challenges, or how you're always just like the prize horse. You're always the guy that's throwing 9-inning games or whatever, like all through the system, and all of a sudden you hit a big block like this in the majors. Maybe you don't come back from that. I hope he does. It just depends what kind of person he is. I have no idea. That's more than a baseball thing. That's more of just like a human kind of thing. I don't know. It's how you respond. Obviously he cares. That's the biggest thing you see. If you see a guy emotional like that on the bench, at least he cares. That's bigger than just, I want to make my money and I want to, this and that. Just get a paycheck, go home, have a nice house, nice car. He cares about winning. That's personal pride too. I guess you don't want to get shelled like that. I'm sure all 3 of us have pitched in a little league game at some point. I don't know if Dan did, maybe. I don't know.
One time I got to pitch like 2 innings.
Did you want to get shelled?
No, I shut down the side.
Exactly. So yeah, it's like anything. You draw from your experience with sports. You don't want to fail. Like anything in life, you don't want to fail. You don't want to be the worst. You don't want to. We can't draw from experience like that. It's just like getting to the top of the company and being sent down to the lowest part again. You just don't want that to happen. It's got to be a bad feeling. But I hope he comes back better. I want to stay optimistic about it. But I think it's just wait and see till next year. I don't think we'll see him till next year. We won't hear anything about him until February.
Yeah, I'm reading these Pirates pitching stats and I'm gonna throw up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's sickening.
I just started. I was like, screw it. So I peeked at Bednar. Yeah, he's your best pitcher, but look at
when are you gonna use him?
Exactly.
And when you do, last night when I was watching, walk the first batter on 4 pitches. I think he hit the second one, and I think maybe he walked the third one and loaded the bases, maybe. Or no, he got one out and then loaded the bases. That's a scary moment if you're,
and I don't think it's
fan.
To his fault though, because in the last 30 games they've used him he has 14 saves. He's pitched 31 innings in the last 30 games. Well, his last 30 games. So I think it's just a lack of use, but do you just throw him out there whenever it's on a save opportunity? No.
I think it's rust, honestly.
Yeah. It's just he's not fresh. He's not in there every night or every other night or however, getting save opportunities. He's got the dog at him, that, but when you're not practicing your craft and honing in on your craft day in and day out, and you're just pitching bullpens or you're just sitting out there spitting sunflower seeds because your team's down, in 2 games to Cleveland, 21-1, it's not your fault. You can't,
especially like you got to be mentally locked in when it feels like your managers and I'm sure the other coaches, they feel like, hey, the Pirates are out of it. Like, who cares if we win or lose? If you're a guy in the bullpen, like, are you invested that much? I know Bednar probably grew up a Pirates fan. He's from the area and he's invested. If there's any pitcher that's invested in the team they play for, it's probably him. But it's got to be tough to just be put in situations like that when you don't play more than probably once a week at most. Yeah. And you can't expect, I know he's an all-star closer, but you can't expect him to, save every game he's in. There's going to be games where he might screw up, he might blow a save. It's going to happen. I think we saw it early in the year. So, every game isn't going to be perfect. Every save situation, it ain't going to work out every time. But seeing him walk a guy on 4 pitches, that is kind of concerning. But Andy Rodriguez, he showed, he's trying to get him to lock in. He showed a little bit of leadership there. You like to see that from him. So luckily double played in the game. So that's the only note I got on that. But Andy Rodriguez, first career home run. The only thing on that, though, is I don't know why the guy threw the ball back. He should have probably tried to get, like, free tickets or at least, like, a picture or something. I don't know. But I think he's still batting, like, 150. But he'll come around. He's young. He's got to see pitches a little bit. But he's still better than Austin Hedges, let's be honest. I don't care how many times he strikes out. What do you guys think?
Yeah. He's going to have his lumps. He's young. I'd rather have him.
He's only, what, 22, 21, 22?
Yeah. He's very young, yeah. And
the same amount of home runs as probably Hedges and Delay. Don't they each have 1, too?
Yeah, and everybody's knocking him. Oh, his defense. You don't hear anything whenever they win. What? Did Hedges save some runs last night? No, that's just a bunch of BS. You bring them up. You gotta ride the wave. There's gonna be ups. There's gonna be downs. It evens out at the end of the day. That's all I'm not mean to rhyme. That's all I'm gonna say. Little poem there for Derek Shelton. Don't be a jack.
Reynolds stepped up last night. He had 2 hits. That's the other note I have.
That's not even stepping up.
He made contact.
I'm sorry, but you're paying him to be a cornerstone of this team.
Oh yeah, he's got to do better. I'm not saying he's like back or he's doing his part.
Playing hurt.
Yeah. But we're not paying him to play the way he is now. No. If you're hurt, I'd rather have you sit out and get better than, get worse.
Yeah, because Yeah, because
he's gonna throw his back out or whatever's injured, he blows his leg out or he tears like an Achilles. Who knows where he's hurt? You know?
This season's already done. It's a wash. Why? Hey, shut him down. Shut him down. That's why I'd be really surprised if O'Neal Cruz plays another game this year.
I would too. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he plays at all. But the thing is, why would they have him even throwing at PNC if he's going to?
The thing is, they're not going to rush him back. They want him to get these at bats. He'll be back later in the year to get at bats, and 100% he will. But they're not going to rush him. They're not. There's no reason for them to rush him. You got to get him at bats. You can't have another whole lost year.
It's going to happen. So, I'm telling you. The way that this organization's ran.
I'm shaving half your mustache.
That's fine, but I'm telling you right now, the way this organization's ran, as soon as he was hurt, I said we won't see him again the rest of this year. Everyone's all right after the All-Star break or all the beginning of August. It's not happening.
I think like a couple weeks ago, he still had a chance. I don't know. It's tough to tell. I think if they were still within 5 or 6 games, he would have been back like by the end of July.
I'll tell you,
I think he's ready right now. Honestly, if he's out there throwing, he should be ready to go.
Listening to the Pirates pregame, Greg Brown interviewed Derek Shelton and even asked, "Hey, what's the timetable on O'Neal Cruz?" He said, "We do not have a timetable on him. As soon as he starts baseball activities, and it doesn't include throwing a ball and catching a ball, then we'll get back to you on a timetable. But right now, we do not have a timetable." That was 3 days ago. So tell me where you're even optimistic that he's going to step foot on that diamond again this year.
September. Very like hush hush about stuff like that always though. So you never know. I feel like they could be like, "Yep, he's playing next week," or let's be honest, Dan. Are you going to believe anything that Pirates management says ever?
Am I?
Yeah.
No.
So, like, honestly, what's keeping in your mind from saying, "Hey, he could be playing next week"?
He's not playing next week. I'm telling. The only reason I'm saying that.
So you're starting to trust Derek Shelton now?
No. What I'm saying. So don't try to make me contradict myself here. I
agree, Dan. Yeah, Dan.
No.
You are.
No.
You are.
Look at his injury. Broke his ankle. Had to get surgery. I don't know if they put rods, pins, whatever in there. I'm not a doctor. I didn't do the surgery. But when you have an injury like that, you're not going to rush a guy that you can build a team around back just to get him at bats. When you know on what his floor is, we haven't seen his ceiling, and I understand that. You want to get him at bats and get him, reacclimated to the speed, but he's been out for how long? He played 9 games.
All right, what? Maybe May? He might have made it through April. I don't know, right? He had 40 at-bats, right?
9 games is all he played. So
he had 40 at-bats. So that's April.
Why bring him back for another, 15 games, Andrew? Why?
Get him something, honestly.
Why? What are those 15 games going to get him? Really?
Reacclimated to Major League.
Think about this, Dan. Think about this.
And they're not going to do it. Go ahead.
15 games of experience for next year. If you're 15 games better, that's the difference between making playoffs and not.
You play 9 games, correct? You have a whole offseason after playing 40-some games last year. Come into the year looking forward to the year. You're going to have a good year. You play 9 games. 3 months out again. What's 15 games going to do for him whenever he's going to sit? He's going to go down to the Cuban League or whatever and play down there again like he did last year throughout the winter. So are they even going to let him do that? First off. Second off, it's just an extended offseason. They already shut him down. I'm telling you. He's not. I will.
And why would they have him even on the field throwing? If they're like mine, they would have him not even traveling with them then.
Get your hopes up.
Why would they do that? It just seems like if they shut him down, they wouldn't even be having him travel with them, honestly.
You would still travel. You'd still do baseball activities, but you're not going to dress.
Brian Hayes been? I haven't seen him at all.
He's got back spasms. He's got back spasms.
So why isn't he's going to be back before Cruz? Why isn't he traveling with the team, man?
His dad's not happy with the team.
That was a lie, actually. Whoever reported that's got to be a Jag of the Week candidate. Like,
he's a permanent Jag of the Week.
Honestly, if you're a Pittsburgh reporter that's probably obsessed with the Pirates like he is, and they want to, them to be the best team and make the playoffs and turn the franchise around, why are you reporting that without like strong sources from where this information has come from? And that's got to be embarrassing for Brian Hayes to literally comment on that and say, I don't know where this came from. Like, literally just tear down any statement you've reported on.
I've truly spent too much time talking about this shit team today.
Yeah.
Well, it's all we got
50
until next
minutes,
week when
50 minutes
starts.
in, that's all we've talked about.
Yeah.
What else do we got to talk about?
No, I agree.
I would rather talk about
adult stuff too at the beginning.
Yeah, we did.
But you can only beat a dead horse so much.
Oh, it's been dead. You ain't resurrecting this horse.
It's been dead since what?
Okay.
92.
So listen to this. Did you expect it to be that way? I told you guys. I warned you. I said the dog days of summer are coming.
Yeah.
Like, get ready. And now we're sitting here like we didn't think this would happen.
We should.
I expected better from Andrew. At least Dan knew. Me and Dan know it. Andrew's like surprised.
I'm surprised that we're talking about. I'm surprised we're going like so in depth on them. Like,
you know why? Because it shows that we are passionate about it. Yeah, our Pittsburgh sports, we're passionate about it. We are.
Bad, but I'm still gonna watch them. I'm still gonna like live for that. It's a lot like golf. To me, it's like golf. I'm gonna go out there, and if I have the worst round of my life, but that one time I hit a drive right down the pipe, like 50 yards from the green, that's what's gonna keep me coming back. And the perfect example is yesterday. The Pirates win. Bednar has the bases loaded, and they have an electric double play to win the game. That's what gets me coming back. Henry Davis hits 2 home runs against Shohei Ohtani. That's what has me coming back. Andy Rodriguez hits his first career home run, and he's cheesing at the end of the game with his translator, saying what he's saying. That's what has me coming back.
This is where I'm at in the summer when the magazines.
We'll do next week. We're going to start talking football next week.
Oh, yeah.
Season 2. We got football next week.
I'm saying I cannot wait for football. I cannot wait for
Alex Highsmith re-signs with the Steelers.
17 million.
Good luck charm. I saw him at Oakmont Bakery 2 weeks ago, and he signs for what, 50 million?
Well, what did you see him order? Because that could have been an indication of how.
What was that juice I was telling you about? The green juice or whatever. Where's my
some sort of green
kale juice?
Yeah, it was disgusting.
So I saw a couple different reportings on what he signed for. Matcha. Yeah. He was 4-year extension for 40-some million, but then I saw it was a 7-year deal for 70 million. Like, do we know the numbers on it?
Because I saw an option somewhere in there. I bet there's like a team option.
I saw 3 different reports but there was all different years and numbers.
It was 4 years, 68 million. So 17 million a year, and I think like 29 of that's guaranteed.
Yeah, so probably some like
after his current deal right now, because he's still at a year or 2 on his current deal, correct?
No, he was going to be free agent after this year.
Okay, so that doesn't kick in until next year. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's typical Steelers. They don't do anything during the season.
Correct.
Like we saw right with Deontay. They didn't do anything with him during the year. So they're getting that out of the way now, so you don't have to worry about. That's a very Steeler thing to do, before or after the season. We don't do that while we play. We're focused on football while we play. We're not focused on how much money Joe Schmo over there is making. We're not focusing on, his or her whatever paycheck or where this money's going. Where we're focused on football. That's what we're focusing on.
And the big difference between Kevin Colbert and Omar Khan is Colbert would take this into training camp, where you'd see T.J. Watt did his hold-in. He does them before training camp, so there's no distractions. So that's one thing. That's another big thing I like about Omar Khan. He gets it done before training camp. That way there's none of these distractions. The guys get paid. A pretty good deal, all things considered, because Highsmith is a very good, like they're saying, Batman and Robin. He's, for what he brings to the team and how he plays, that I think was a pretty fair deal to both sides. I saw some people complaining that's an overpay. And I think it was either Mueller or Filippone was complaining. They're putting so much money into this defense when it's an offensive league. Look what they're doing with their draft. Look what they have on offense. Pickett, rookie contract. Pickens, rookie contract. Freiermuth, rookie contract.
Najee Harris, rookie contract.
Broderick Jones,
rookie
they
contract.
invested in their offensive line.
Yeah.
Also, unless you're a very, say, talented top 3 quarterback, most teams that are be successful have that quarterback on a rookie deal, or else you're going to start giving up stuff. Like, look at the Bengals. They're starting to give up a little because, Joey B is going to be starting to make that money. We saw with the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is elite, but, they lost Tyreek Hill. There's just certain things you got to give up if you want to start quarterback. I don't think Pickett's going to ever get that much money. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I wish him the best, but I think his ceiling's Joe Flacco still. Yeah. I'm doubling down on my comment.
Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl.
But yeah, Joe Flacco, he's no slouch.
But to reiterate your point there about on rookie deals, that's when, because there's a salary cap league, that's how you have to win championships. Unless you have a player like Tom Brady who takes a hometown deal to stay with the Pats. He still made his, but he didn't make as much as he could have because he wanted to win championships. And sometimes that's what happens. But sometimes that's what you have to do. You can't just be like, well, I want to be the highest paid quarterback and still think that you're going to win Super Bowls whenever they can't be able to build a team around you. Mm-hmm. I like the extension for Highsmith because there's a few things that are important in this league, and that is quarterbacks and getting after the quarterback. Mm-hmm. We know TJ Watt can't stay healthy through a 17-game season. So if you would let him go next year and not sign him, you could have franchised him and this and that, but he's a very good 1B. You call him a 2 when TJ's there, but I think he played just fine when TJ was out for, 9 games. Mm-hmm. So you have a guy who knows the defense, can play the other side from TJ, but if TJ's out, he could be the number 1. And the big thing I like about him was he wasn't a big recruit. He was almost told no a lot, and he wants to prove it. So he proved it. College, not just NFL. He walked on in college, so he proved it, and he's still proving it. He's making his money. I think that it was a very, very good signing. Just get it out of the way. Don't let it get into training camp. Don't let it be a distraction in Latrobe. Like I wouldn't say TJ's was a distraction, but it kind of was because they're like, well, he's doing all the individual stuff. He's not doing the team stuff. Like, what is this? Why is he getting all the main reps in the individuals? But no, I got to play the one in the team drills. So I like the extension.
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
And I'm getting jazzed up talking about Stellars now.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Ooh, Stellars, college football. I can't. I
feel like this is the year the roster comes together. Like I said before, we had the Ferraris and we had the Corvettes. Now we got the diesels now. We got the Mack trucks. We got the killdozers. We got the tanks.
I like it.
We got, name another big vehicle, Dan. We got the dump trucks.
Yep.
We got the Kubota backhoes. We got the tractors. Got the wheelbarrows. We got the cement mixers. We got the concrete mixers. That's all.
I like it.
We got the 4x4. We got the all new 2023 Chevy Silverado crew cab.
Right, a real truck, not a Jeep Gladiator.
Yeah, it's a Jeep truck. You wouldn't understand.
You walked right into it. Come on.
I don't care. I gotta prove nothing on my hauling skills to you guys.
There's nothing you can haul.
A good hauler doesn't talk about his hauls.
Good haulers do. Those are truck
hauler handbook.
Stories right there.
A good hauler,
just like fishing stories.
Doesn't boast his haul.
Just like a fishing story. It was this big.
A humble hauler. That's why you hold the fish out real far so it looks bigger.
All right, we're an hour in. You want to get into your Jag?
Yeah. Who else got one? Anybody? No? Okay. Well, I do got one. Okay. Starting off, Andrew can attest to this. Whenever I play basketball, I'm not the type to talk trash or anything like that. Or, get into little scraps or anything like that. Andrew could attest. I'm a very casual player. But I ran into one on Saturday. First time playing with somebody. It's kind of a physical place we play, so as expected. But the first time playing with somebody, and like I call foul when I get hacked. Someone like jumped under my feet. I had no place to land, like full arm. And then like I was just like, yeah, stays here, like foul. And he's like, bro, that wasn't a foul, and started like basically arguing balls and strikes. So first things first, like if it's the first time playing with you, like don't be an a-hole kind of thing, you know? And that kind of deal. So I guess you get a test to that. So the next time down, I backed him down under the hoop. I gave him a couple more dribbles to like assert the dominance. I never talked trash. So I score the hoop. I slap the ball out of the net. And I go, there's your foul. Now go fetch. so that was that. I never do that. And everyone was like that. Because I'm usually pretty quiet there where I play. And they're like, dang, like that we didn't expect that, like kind of deal. Like I never did. But like if you're gonna be an a-hole, like first, like usually if it's someone I know, like I know Andrew will argue with me sometimes playing, but that's as expected. Like we've had our moments, especially sometimes recently too. Like he'll argue a foul here and there, but that's okay because we've played before. We know each other. But if I don't know you and you're arguing like balls and strikes and pick up basketball, like when I first meet you, you gotta like earn my respect, or else I'm gonna try to clown you at some point. So you're a jag for that.
I did steal the ball from Ryan, and he called a foul on me about a month ago. I was pretty I wasn't happy about it.
Reach.
Was it clean?
It was clean. It was clean. It was clean.
So when I cross over and your whole arm is across my body like this, basically like a clothesline.
Did he hit
No,
you?
not that one.
Shoulder, whole arm.
No,
That's
Ryan was
not
bringing the ball up. I came up behind him, tipped it from behind. He said I ran into him.
Picked his
There
grapes.
There was some people saying it wasn't a foul, some saying it was. It was that 50-50 ball. I wanted my bragging point. You know, I'm
usually when it's
not as good as Ryan, obviously. You know, I can admit that. I'm a post player. Ryan can go inside, outside. But you know, when the big man steals the ball from the guard and then the guard calls the foul, that's
yeah.
But the thing is, whenever you have the ball in your hand that much, I get those calls. Like I get those calls.
No, you're not getting that one. No.
Yes.
No.
And the best was this Thursday. Andrew was like playing the bottom of a 2-3. He comes running out on me trying to distract me. I still knocked it down in his eyes.
What I do 2 possessions later.
I don't know what.
Came down on a fast break, crossed your boy up at the top, step back, pull up 3, bang.
Not on me though.
I shouldn't have been guarding the zone up there. That was on the wing.
So back to your point about your jag. Yes, if you're going to, has he ever been there? Did anybody know him?
No, first time
he's been there?
Anybody.
So if you're showing up to a new place to play any sort of pickup basketball, whatever it is, you don't almost act like you're a ref out there. You hey, okay, I fouled you. Maybe the next time you'd give them one, or you wouldn't call it. If it if it was nickel and diamond, don't be nickel and diamond people. But yeah, if he fouls you, call it. But if you want to make a scene about it, you're a jag. You have no leg to stand on yet because it's your first time there. Get in with the guys, make some friendships and get some respect, give some respect, and then you'll go from there. But if you just want to start arguing right off rip, nah, you're a jag. I totally agree with you.
If it's your first time there, you get a reputation.
Yeah.
Like the next time you're gonna be like, hey, like I don't want to play with this guy, or like I don't want this guy on my team, or I'm gonna be a little more hesitant talking to this guy, even on the sideline. Like,
yeah,
maybe I don't like you as much. So guys like that, I do give them like a second chance. Maybe they're having a bad week, or but I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. If I play somewhere for the first time, I usually keep my mouth shut when I'm playing. Like I'll talk to people, but I'm not gonna be like yelling foul or like telling people this or that, or which I usually already don't do. But it's just kind of a rub the wrong way. And that's like one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone first plays and doesn't like give a certain degree of respect to people that they haven't met before, especially in that kind of setting. Yeah. So I have been tested at this place before. So like It's quite frequent. I always have to earn my respect when I play wherever I go. I usually don't look like a guy that can play a little bit, but like I'm decent. So, like Andrew said, but had to give a little guff. Had to step up for myself.
I'm more like, Lambier and the Bad Boy Pistons kind of mixed together. Like, I'm not coming out of the paint. You come in, it's like, what was that movie with Ben Stiller? And was it Along Came Polly, the basketball?
Iceman. Yep.
Yeah, right? I forget who's the actor that passed away. Philip Seymour Hoffman, the basketball scene where like he has his shirt off and Ben Stiller goes up and he just gets a face full of sweat and it's like
slow yeah.
Like the shirt's on, but you come in there, you're gonna be
that's your office.
A couple times, like people lower their shoulders and try and get the foul call. I'll just stand there. They bounce right off me. They're still calling foul. What are you doing? You're entering the danger zone. You come in the paint. Dan knows that.
Yeah, that's the office down there. You don't mess around. That's big
Andrew
boy.
Knows.
That's
I'm
big boy
I'm
area.
A combo guy. Like Andrew's seen me get mad. I'll run someone over if you're smaller than me. I'm gonna run you over. If you're bigger than me, I'm usually faster than you, and I'll run around you. But Andrew's seen me run into some people and just go right at them.
Yeah. No, hey, my nickname wasn't Hacksaw for any reason. Right.
Yeah, I don't really foul, so.
Hey, when there's pickup and there's no 5 fouls and you're out. Whew.
I'll give you 5 hard ones, Coach.
I'd like that. If I had like a men's league team, I'd get Dan just to put him in there to like hack someone up real quick and come back out.
Yeah, I'm getting flagrants. That's the problem. You're teeing me up and I'm getting tossed. It's just a mentality. I didn't play basketball, but it wasn't physical enough, I guess. And I wanted more contact. I remember playing in that 3-on-3 tournament for Sammy Smith, and me, James, and I can't remember who else, but we were playing and we ended up playing kids from Freeport. I remember Tyler Singer was on that team, but I can't remember who else. And somebody picked my grapes and I just basically bear hugged them, took them to the ground. It just something clicked. I'm like I just gotta grab them,
But it's not physical, but it's like an irritating level of physical because you have to know how to be physical.
There's a line
because you can't foul to you know, like I could back you down and you're gonna feel bad about it.
Yeah,
but you can't wrap me up and throw me down.
No,
like you really want to.
Yeah,
but if I have my wide base going and I'm backing you down, like I'm like people are gonna get mad about that. And they can't drag you down by your neck. They can't grab you by whatever and pull you down.
I remember playing in gym class, and I ended up getting a board, and somebody, I can't remember if it was Jason McCarthy or somebody was there, and tried to get it, and I just took the elbow. Boom, get out of my way, hit him with an elbow, and he wanted to cry about it. I was like, whoa, don't cry about it. This is my office.
That first tournament, I got into it with somebody, I think. I forget, me from Apollo, where it's like Ryan's situation. They called a foul where I blocked them. It was clean. I call my fouls. It's a gentleman's league. Call my fouls. It was clean. They call a foul. And I'm like, that just flipped the switch. I was pissed off. So then they try doing all these fancy moves. They pull up from 3. I block it. It goes about 10 feet, and I came down and I just shoved him right in the chest. I said, "Was that one clean or not?" I'll get in your face if you pull that crap.
See, that's the thing with basketball. It's like you did everything right to block the kid, and then he wants to call a foul because he's embarrassed because you little manned him. So now it pisses you off because he calls a foul, and all right, they're gonna agree that it's a foul, and then you got to go do it again. And it just gets you hot.
That's you learn things to do that are kind of mentally, you can throw people down by their necks, but you can mentally throw them down by their necks.
I will physically
you pull the chair from them. They're trying to box you out. You step out of the way. My favorite thing to do, I have 2 things. If the guy can't shoot the ball worth a lick, and they're one of those guys that just dribbles but to nowhere, I usually just stand straight up and just watch them. Everyone just laughs, or they get the ball and they're gonna shoot. I just walk away, just leave them wide open. There's nothing more demoralizing, and I could say from experience, if you're having a bad day shooting and no one comes out to guard you and they just look at you, not even move. Everyone just stands there and you miss. you're not making another shot the rest of the day. You know,
they might not even pass to you to take a shot. You played the mental game so well. I couldn't. I just short fuse. Too much of a short fuse.
Oh, that's what when we play intramurals,
I had one the other day. Yeah.
I was unhinged. I was like the Kenny Powers of intramurals. The one time we were in a tournament, and the one ref we knew him. He was messing with us, and we were getting hosed. Mike Poitens from Apollo goes down, gets his legs taken out. He doesn't call a foul. They call a foul on the other end that wasn't a foul on me. I went ballistic. I flipped off every official in the gym. Like I looked them in the eyes, flipped them off. He was laughing. I got teed up. I was like unhinged. That was back in the day. Yeah, it was like Kenny Powers coming out from the bullpen. Yeah. It was like
you need a little bit of energy like that. You need a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's a mental game. There's certain little jabs you can take that they add up by the end that it feels like you've been thrown down emotionally.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who played what was his name? Zaza Pachulia?
Yeah.
Pachulia. That's like my game. Like
just run under people's ankles.
I don't run under people's ankles because mine are bad, and you don't mess with people's. Don't do that shit. But like, coming into the game, you come in, you just rough someone up a little bit, you stir the pot a little bit, you just start messing with people. That's what I like to do. I'm not fast by any stretch of the imagination. I can't jump, I'm a big body. I don't need the height. I can bully somebody down, a little hook shot, give them a little stare down, mess with them a little bit.
Is Ryan, would you say his game is like a Grayson Allen?
No.
All right.
You can't really compare it because it's like casual.
Unique. I'll have to come up and run West Leechburg with you one of these days. Let me know.
Yeah, next time we're out there, we will.
All right.
Yeah, well, that's Youngzers Season 2, Episode 1. Next week, training camp starts, so we'll have more football to talk about, I'm sure. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Yeah, big things coming. Year 2, we're underway. Steeler football, Super Bowl champs 2024, right?
Down. I'm cutting you off there. See ya.
Super Bowl champs 2024, Stanley Cup champs.